My beloved child, stop for just a moment and listen. For you did not click on this message by accident. Yes, I am speaking to you. Even right now, in your place of heavy tension, with your thoughts racing like a wild river, and your soul aching for something steady to hold on to. Do not let another moment slip away into the noise of the world. I am inviting you, right now, into a peace that will settle around your shoulders like the gentle warmth of a sunrise after a long, cold night you have come here seeking, perhaps questioning if anyone truly hears you, or if anyone truly cares about the secret struggles that drain your energy before your feet even touch the floor in the morning. Let your breath deepen with me now. Inhale slowly. I am closer to you than your next heartbeat, and I am ready to speak over the whirlwind inside you, to bring a calm you didn't know you could experience. Stay with me. In this very moment, everything can begin to change. I long for you to seek me, not with an exhausting performance or perfect words, but with the simple, raw honesty of your heart. Cry out to me, day and night. Do not fear that you will be left unheard. When you reach for me in faith, even as doubts swirl like storm clouds above your head, it moves my heart deeply. I want to remind you that your persistent hope, your steady belief that I am real and near, carries immense weight in the heavens. If you have felt that your prayers bounce back in silence, if you think your voice cannot break through the ceiling, know this truth. Every word you utter, even the whispers and the sobs, finds its way directly to me. I delight in your courage to reach out. I am not unmoved by your yearning or your hope for relief. You may look at your life today and see doors that shut before you could pass through them. You might grieve lost opportunities, material things that vanished, or relationships that haven't gone as you hoped. But listen closely. In my hands, your life is never defined by what slipped through your grasp. I am arranging details, even now, working quietly in the unseen places where you cannot look. If you think loss is the end of your story, pause and consider that I see much more than you can. Trust me afresh with your whole heart, even when your understanding fails. Whatever you have let go of, or whatever you thought was gone forever, I am able to restore beyond what you have asked, and what I give back will be more beautiful and fuller than what you have mourned. Come, take another breath. Let me quiet those anxious thoughts that have kept you awake, the worries that tighten your chest and threaten to overwhelm you. My peace is not just an idea or a philosophy. It is a living comfort I am offering to you right now. I know how often you have cried yourself to sleep, wondering how you will make it through the next day, asking in the quiet dark if you will ever see a breakthrough. I speak into your night. You will overcome. Not because every circumstance suddenly becomes easy, but because your faith has become stronger than you realize. I have watched as you stood in the storm. Your trust is resilient. Your courage is deeper than your own awareness. My child, I place in your hands now a new confidence, the kind that comes when you know I am fighting beside you. My word is your sword. Use it by speaking my promises over your fear, over your worries, and over the future you cannot yet see. When you sense opposition or uncertainty, know that I am right there with you. You do not face difficulty alone. Rest in the knowledge that my blessing surrounds you, that my arms wrap you in steady strength, and that my love pours out to fill you, even when you feel empty. Accept the embrace I offer you this very moment. You may have wondered if your silent thoughts matter. if the pain you hold close to your chest is just lost in the rush of everything else. But every sigh, every silent plea that goes unspoken, I hold tenderly in my hands. I have heard even those thoughts that rise in desperation, and I welcome them as honest prayers. Bring them to me. Nothing is too dark or too small to be known, and nothing in you is shameful to me. You might believe that what you pray for never rises higher than your own ceiling, that these words disappear into a void. But right now, I am interrupting that lie. I am showing you my reality. I have always heard you, and now, even as you reach for me, I am moving in your situation. Those personal battles you and I know well are being addressed. Not always in the way you expect, but with careful wisdom and love, so that your life will be changed for the good. Let this settle into your heart. I am at work on your behalf, and things truly can turn for your favor. Step into this new day with openness. Come again to me, even if just yesterday you poured out your heart. Life continues, and each day is its own beginning, its own reunion. Come honestly, come vulnerably. Never imagine you reach a point where you have it all together and no longer need my presence. Don't allow comfort to dull the roots of your relationship with me. I long to walk with you in every season, through laughter and trial alike, forming a friendship that can stand any storm. Yes, your spirit still longs for me, even when you taste happiness. Do not try to fill the well of your heart with substitutes, for nothing else fully satisfies. My companionship was crafted to fit every hollow place within you. Avoid the trap of isolation when things seem bright. I desire continual nearness, for your joy multiplies in my presence. Should you drift, the warmth will begin to fade, and a quiet hunger will take its place. A sign to return, not in shame, but in loving restoration. Hear my affirmation today. I will pursue you. I will never let go. If you try to pull away, convinced for a moment that you are fine on your own, even then my pursuit continues. I knock at the door of your heart, not out of impatience or demand, but because I see deeper than your feelings. I know what loneliness waits at a distance from me. I will gently unsettle you, softly reminding you that you are designed for relationship with me. My love is relentless. My devotion, eternal. Even in your struggles, even with your fears or failures, I have not withdrawn my affection. There is nothing you could do to dull the intensity of my love for you. I am your Father, your God, your closest friend. If it seems impossible that anyone could love you like this, remember, my ways are not like those of people who have misunderstood or hurt you. I come to show you the love you have always longed for. A love not based on your performance, but on who you are to me. Release the heavy weight of self-judgment. When you feel unworthy, when shame tries to push you into sadness and concealment, let my kindness break through that cloud. I am taking from your eyes the blindfolds that hinder you from seeing my delight in you. I want to heal your heart at its most wounded core and help you believe that you are precious. Come as you are, tired, weighed down. Bring your burdens and receive the deep rest that is only possible with me. Let go of striving and comparison. As you stretch your hands for genuine peace, know that I am the source of renewal. Each morning is an invitation to rest in my goodness, to let the anxiety of lack be replaced by gratitude for my faithfulness. I gave my Son for you, not to burden you, but to lift you and fill your heart with a joy untouched by circumstance. My resurrection life is your inheritance, so wake with expectation and let me lead you into a day transformed by hope. Let my peace settle within you now. You, my beloved, have entered into this day carrying so much more than you realize. The air is thick with hopes waiting for release and doubts pressing against your chest. Let me assure you, my attention is never distracted from you. Right where you are, when you pause and notice the quiet stirrings inside. That is me, drawing close. You are not forgotten in the noise. Instead, I meet you in the simplest moments, the hush before you speak, the space between your heartbeats. Some burdens have grown so familiar you almost accept them as your own skin. Yet I see every ache and every longing underneath. As the early light filters in, let it remind you that each ray carries my mercy, not as a concept, but as the warmth settling on your shoulders. You are not required to orchestrate the perfect start or perform your way into my presence. Rest now, even if for an instant, in the awareness that I am near. Let the rhythm of your breath slow a little. Let the air fill your lungs as my promise that you are not overlooked sinks deeper within. When anxieties rustle, when questions come strong and uninvited, remember that I cradle every question without flinching. What if you don't measure up today? What if the people around you never acknowledge how hard you try? Child, I do not judge you by outward marks. My gaze is fixed on your true self, the one longing to be known and loved. Let your failures and fears meet my gentle correction, not condemnation. I am not surprised by your struggles, nor am I impatient with your progress. My patience outlasts every storm inside you. Each morning is my invitation. Come as you are, not as you wish you could be. When you feel alone in quiet rooms or overlooked in noisy ones, let my presence be as tangible as the ground beneath your feet. Notice how I surround you, even in moments too heavy to carry on your own. If memories of yesterday cloud you with regret, let today be the place where you surrender that burden again. You never disappoint me when you reach for help. My affection for you does not dim when you falter. Each new sunrise is not just another marker in time, but a sign that I have set aside fresh mercies just for you. Let gratitude be your soft beginning, not as an obligation, but as a gentle practice. Look for one small thing, a steady heartbeat, the kindness of a gentle word, or the feeling of sunlight warming your skin. When you whisper thanks, watch as tension loosens its grip and hope reawakens. Gratitude is not denial of your trials. It is a sign that you remember I am involved in every detail. You are not meant to handle life's pressures alone. Holding gratitude in your heart is one way you join yourself to me. Even in the midst of impatience, when your spirit bristles at delay or the waiting feels endless, I am doing more than you see. My timing corrects what you cannot fix and smooths paths you thought would never open. I know you hear other voices, some loud, some subtle, that insist you are falling behind or missing out. Let them quiet now, like leaves falling gently to earth. I set the cadence for your journey, and my clock runs neither late nor early. Trust that what I have spoken over you will not fail. There is strength rising up in you. Though it may feel small at first, do not dismiss it. I plant courage in the soil of ordinary days. Healing comes quietly in surrendered moments. A breath let out, a heaviness shared, an honest prayer whispered. There are seeds of change growing beneath the surface, and soon you will see their shoots. You do not need to force yourself into relentless striving. It is not your effort, but my nearness that brings transformation. When you move with me, old anxieties begin to lose their grip. Consider how I shield you, sometimes in ways you do not perceive. There are disappointments I have intercepted and dangers you have never needed to know. Every detour and closed door is known to me. None of your tears or sighs escape my notice. When you wonder if your prayers echo into emptiness, know that I hold each word close. My answers may come in forms you do not expect, but their arrival is always shaped by perfect love. Where you feel exposed or unprotected, I offer my shelter. Your identity is firmly rooted in my affection, not in the evaluations of others or in the shifting circumstances around you. I am writing a story in your life that cannot be erased by setbacks or delays. When voices of accusation rise within or without, remember that I have named you mine. Lift your head, not in pride, but in confident belonging. And let the knowing of who you are in me steady your heart. You never have to fight for significance. I have called you by name, and that is enough. Let the simple gesture of placing your hand on your heart be a reminder that you are not alone. As you pause, sense my nearness, the quiet strength I provide moment by moment. In the swirl of daily pressures, when you doubt your path or question if you are seen, rest in the assurance that I walk beside you. I never rush you through your fears. Instead, I move at the pace of your trust, drawing you steadily toward freedom. Every weakness is an invitation for my strength to be made real. Look for me, not just in the dramatic or miraculous, but in the most unremarkable moments. The brush of wind across your face, the safety of a familiar voice, the stable comfort of an ordinary evening. These too are signs that I am with you. Your story is unfolding, even when progress seems imperceptible. Take one small step today. Choose gentleness for yourself, a breath of gratitude, a moment of surrender. In these motions, you invite my presence deeper into your experience. Let the hope that dawns with each new day steady you, anchoring your heart when circumstances threaten to unsettle you. What I am building in you will last, even as emotions rise and fall. Allow me to sift your anxieties. Let them fall away with each exhale you allow yourself to take. I am not disappointed with your pace. I delight in the courage it takes to trust, even when the outcome remains hidden. There is much more I am eager to share with you in the moments ahead. As morning continues to paint its silent wonders across the sky, I invite you to notice the life stirring quietly within and around you. Each moment you draw breath, it is my sign that your purpose endures. That first sip of coffee, the hush before the world fully wakes, even the smallest heartbeat of anticipation in your soul. All of these are evidence that I am near and attentive. If you lean in with your spirit, you will sense me whispering assurance, gently quieting the question spinning through your mind. Am I sufficient for what comes? I assure you, my child, you do not walk into this day unaccompanied or unsupported. My presence moves with you, ahead of every step, making a way where you only see uncertainty. Let your first moments belong to me, not out of duty, but desire. As you open your hands, whether physically or with trembling faith, feel the weight of anxieties begin to dissolve. Imagine the warmth of my hands steadying yours, a shelter for your shaking. Surrender is not defeat, but the doorway into strength you cannot muster on your own. You have carried burdens for so long, the persistent worry about loved ones, the self-doubt that creeps in at the edges, the fear that opportunity will pass you by unnoticed. With every quiet release, a space is created in you for my peace to settle. I commend your courage to still your racing thoughts, and for just a moment, breathe deeply of my nearness. Surrender in my presence is never a transaction, but a place of relationship, Here you don't need to qualify yourself or produce reasons for my affection. I see the goodness I planted within you. Even when you think you have failed or fallen short in the stillness, remember, your limitations invite my power. When you do not know what to pray, when your heart aches with longing, simply rest in me. Let your sighs become small prayers. Let gratitude, in whatever measure you can muster, be the gentle beginning of hope. I delight not in grand gestures, but in your willingness to come, honest and unvarnished, just as you are. I know the anxieties that wind their way through your days like persistent shadows. Concern for your family, worry about what tomorrow may hold, uncertainty about the shape of your calling. With a father's heart, I invite you to set those swirling fears down before me. Not to discard them in denial, but so that you can see how my arms are wide enough to carry what you cannot. When the temptation to control presses on you, remember that your surrender is not a forfeiture of power, but a return to love itself. I am holding your beloved ones more tenderly than you could imagine. Trust that my timing, though mysterious, is always aimed at their redemption. Even now, as busyness tries to invade your sacred space, I speak a word of calm over you. Breathe in slowly, and allow my presence to settle over your nerves like a gentle rain. You may notice distractions beckoning, notifications, worries, the persistent tug of incomplete tasks. Resist the urge to be swept away. In this chosen silence, I meet you not as a distant ruler, but as your closest friend and sure guide. Let the small, steady rhythm of your breath be a rhythm of belonging. Each inhale, a reminder that you are not abandoned. Each exhale, a quiet surrender of the demands you cannot control. Beneath your striving beats a heart that is learning to trust, to lay down expectations and receive instead my assurance. Beloved, I want you to see with eyes cleared of yesterday's fog. Every day my mercies meet you anew at the threshold of dawn. I know the desire you hold for clarity about the path ahead, the longing to see open doors, the urge for visible breakthrough. My guidance may not always arrive as you expect, but it is never absent. Sometimes, as you quiet yourself and wait, the answers come in subtle shimmers rather than sudden lightning. The gentle prompting to reach out to someone, the sense of peace nudging you toward a forgotten dream. Type yes if you are ready for the blessings that you are about to receive. And if you believe in Christianity, kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100, the sudden courage to take a small risk. These are my gifts, nudges toward green pastures you have not yet seen. Do not be discouraged by what feels motionless or by seasons in which nothing changes quickly. Just as seeds buried beneath damp soil press upward in their own secret timing, your faithfulness in surrender today bears a quiet harvest for tomorrow. I cherish the small beginnings you offer, the daily acts of trust that the world may overlook. In these unspectacular moments, your identity as my beloved becomes firmer, your spirit steadier. Listen for the small victories. A heart made softer, a kindness extended, a worry released. In my sight, these are not small. They are the seeds of destiny unfolding. You may still wonder if surrender is enough. What if you let go, only to see nothing change? What if silence breeds more questions than answers? Here in the middle of uncertainty, I call you to trust that my love surrounds what you surrender. I do not waste any act of relinquishment. Nothing is lost in my hands. I am teaching you the patience that endures, not by ignoring pain, but by allowing my nearness to become your strongest reassurance. When you cannot see the road ahead, walk forward in the light you have, and I promise to illuminate the next step in due time. Rest is not passivity, my child. It is the brave act of those who know they are cared for. Gently let your heart embrace today as it is. No striving to prove your worth. No frantic measuring of yourself against expectations. Just the quiet confidence that you belong to me. Cherished, seen, and shielded. My plans for you are never thwarted by what appears to be delay. Every moment surrendered to me becomes a canvas for my grace and a story still unfolding. Hear my invitation again in the hush of this hour. Trust the pace of my love and let your heart find fresh courage with every sunrise. You wonder sometimes if you've given me everything, or if there are locked rooms inside you I have yet to touch. Even now, as you sit in the quiet of this moment, a gentle longing stirs, a hope that surrender might finally bring peace. You reach for control, believing you must hold everything together. But I gently remind you now, release is not defeat. It is the beginning of something your heart was born to seek. As you close your eyes, notice the places in your body grip tight, shoulders drawn, breath shallow. Breathe deeply. Let the warmth of my nearness loosen the tension you've carried for too long. Can you sense my presence moving into those spaces, not to expose or accuse, but to heal the wounded places that ache for relief? I am with you in the silence, closer than your own heartbeat. There are fears you dare not name aloud, irrational in the morning, but monstrous at midnight. I see each one tenderly wrapped around memories you wish you could shed. My beloved, you are not weak because you feel afraid. You are human, and I am your strength. In those moments where fear pretends to be your only companion, when whispered lies try to convince you that your past disqualifies you from a future with me, press your hand over your heart and know this. I chose you, knowing every flaw, every mistake, every scar. You are not tolerated. You are treasured. Each fault you hide becomes the canvas for my grace to shine, rewriting the story etched by disappointment. You ask if you're truly safe in letting go. You fear the unknown, wondering if relinquishing old patterns will leave you empty. But I tell you, the parts you give to me are never lost. They are transformed. I fill the emptiness with new vision, new strength, new joy. As you breathe out the anxiety laced through your days, breathe in my peace, which always lingers even when chaos rages outside. Hold still for a moment and sense it. Like soft light filtering gently through closed lids, I am dissolving the shadows that pressed against your mind. You have not missed your moment. Right now is the turning point you feared might never come. Pause and let this truth settle. You don't have to understand everything to trust me with anything. I don't expect perfection. I only want permission. Will you let me step deeper into your story? Past the defenses and rehearsed prayers into the most honest places of your soul. Each time you answer yes, a chain falls. Each time you open, even in trembling, my love expands within you, pushing out shame, planting courage where despair once rooted itself. You may sense tears welling up, sudden and surprising. Those tears water the ground for new beginnings. I am not ashamed of your pain. I honor your vulnerability and promise you not one sacred tear will be wasted in my presence. Notice the shift now. Gentle, but real. A loosening around the old stories that have defined you for too long. I am not only rewriting your present, I am redeeming your memories, unlocking meaning in places you once cursed. That season of confusion, those nights spent questioning your worth, are becoming the very soil from which new life pushes through. Dear one, your wounds are not wasted. I turn what was meant to break you into strength that cannot be shaken. Let the truth echo, you are becoming whole. I know part of you resists, unsure if this is really happening or if hope again will only breed disappointment. What if you open and nothing changes? What if the voice you sense is only your imagination? Do you feel the tension, the pull between hope and cynicism? Breathe. Now listen, not with your ears, but with your spirit. The peace you feel in this moment, that quiet assurance that defies explanation, is the evidence you seek. I have not changed my mind about you, even when you lost faith in yourself. Stop. Read that again. My love is not fragile. My commitment is not dependent on your performance. You are not loved because you fix yourself. You are loved because I am relentless in my pursuit. Even when you falter, I remain. Even when your prayers falter, I listen to the ache beneath your words. I am not here for perfection, but for union. Notice how your breathing has slowed, how your body settles into trust. That is no accident. My presence is reordering your fears, rewiring old beliefs, inviting you to recognize yourself as I see you, chosen, marked, delighted in. Say it quietly, I am chosen. Feel what shifts inside as this truth pushes back against every voice that told you otherwise. Let anticipation flicker. Could this finally be the threshold? I have already begun the process of resurrection inside you, hidden beneath ordinary moments and silent days. You'll recognize my handiwork when peace floods a situation you once dreaded, or when unexpected courage rises before you speak truth. This week, someone will mention a burden you've carried in secret, not knowing how much you needed to hear those words. You'll know it's me because my confirmation always comes wrapped in perfect timing. My beloved child, you are not who you were at the beginning of this encounter. With every yielding, you are drawing nearer to the person I always saw within you. Your identity is shifting from fear-driven survival to freedom-birthed thriving. What if you could trust that where you are weakest, I am strongest? Place your hand over your heart. Sense its beating. Every thump a reminder that your life is sustained by my constant care. Thousands have stood in the space you now occupy, trembling, uncertain, and desperate for the assurance that they are not too lost, not too late, not too much. My mercy encountered them, and it finds you here. You are not alone in your longing or your questions. You are joined to a quiet movement of souls daring to say yes to something more. All it takes is another small surrender, a whispered agreement that you cannot and need not carry this burden another step. There is something forming within you, even if you cannot yet name it. Miracle moments do not always arrive with flashing signs. Sometimes they start as a felt shift in the atmosphere. Pressure lifting, breath deepening, a sudden urge to hope again. Something is awakening. Soon you will recognize the old patterns have lost their grip, and what once held you captive has become the evidence of my relentless love. You may not see the full picture, but you do not walk blind. With every obedient step, I light the next one. The invitation remains open. Give me the deepest places, the ones even you hesitate to enter. I will meet you there with healing in my hands and hope in my voice. Trust the process. Trust my timing. You are not falling apart. You are falling into purpose. The journey is not over. The real transformation is only beginning to unfold. You are sensing a stirring deep within you. An old ache, now mingling with a fragile hope. That is not wishful thinking. It is my spirit awakening you to what I have always known. Your longing for more is not selfish, it is holy. I have seen where your heart recoils at memories you wanted to bury, and I do not turn away. Instead, I come even closer, placing my presence between you and the shadows that haunt you at night. This is the moment I begin to draw treasure from within your pain. And while fear may rise, I invite you to feel how my nearness steadies your breathing. The impulse to withdraw, to hide yourself from me is understandable. But beloved, you never had to face those storms alone. Even in your doubts, I was the steady anchor waiting beneath the surging waves, patient as you braced against currents that threatened to sweep you away. There is something I must reveal about your story that will change how you see even the darkest page. Let your heart find a steady rhythm as you inhale now. Slow and deliberate. Place your hand on your chest and notice how, beneath worn skin, a flicker of courage pulses. Each beat whispers my faithfulness over you, a promise that no mistake or wound has undone your value. I see the silent question you carry pressing against your ribs. Does my brokenness disqualify me from being chosen? Hear me. What you call broken, I call beautiful in becoming. My son's sacrifice is the final word over your worth. There is no blemish on your life that my love cannot transform into radiance. Breathe again. The world may label you by your weakest moments, but I define you by my delight. Do you feel that subtle warming in your core as you consider this? That is me testifying that you belong. I cherish the honesty of your questions. They are the doorway through which greater trust enters. I know you resist the idea of surrender, associating it with loss or defeat. Yet what if you have misunderstood surrender all along? True surrender here is not giving up what makes you unique. It is releasing to me what was never yours to carry. Burdens too heavy, expectations too harsh, fears that choke out joy. The tighter you grip what you cannot control, the more anxious your soul becomes. This is why I gently place my hand upon yours now, asking you to open your palms just enough for hope to enter. You sense my invitation as both a comfort and a challenge because I designed you for bravery. Type yes if you are ready for the blessings that you are about to receive. And if you believe in Christianity, kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. I am still rewriting your understanding of strength, beloved. My power is never threatened by your weakness. In fact, my glory shines clearest through every place that once made you ashamed. Do not rush this exchange. Pause. Let the certainty of my acceptance begin to replace the old lie that you must strive to earn my love. You may be wondering if true change is actually possible, or if you are destined to repeat cycles that leave you weary. I tell you, as the one who authored your timeline, there is a shift coming, and it begins inside you before it is ever seen in circumstances. Listen, beloved child, restoration is already seated within your wounds. You will awaken one morning with a clarity that wasn't there the night before. You will hear laughter slip past your lips where grief has long taken up residence. Within the next few days, someone will speak life into you, not knowing I sent them. You will feel a peace settle over you in the least expected moment. You'll know it is me because joy will mingle with quiet tears. Let anticipation rise. My transformation unfolds gradually and then suddenly. Each small act of trust, each time you pause and speak aloud, I am loved, I am chosen, you cooperate with the newness I am building within. Right now, doubt is whispering that this is for others, that your situation is somehow too knotted for even my hands. Do not harden your heart. I am calling you to believe with trembling hope not with years of perfect certainty. I prefer the honesty of your questions over the performance of empty certainty. You have wondered if you missed your only chance, if you have gone too far for me to reach. Not so. I am the redeemer of lost years and wasted moments. Instead of judgment, I offer renewal. Instead of shame, I offer a name that cannot be stolen, beloved, anointed, marked by promise. Do not rehearse old failures. Look up. My compassion arrives new every sunrise, waiting for your yes. You are not who you were last year. You are not trapped by who you have been. Pause and notice the sensations around you, the coolness of your breath, the soft light in the room, the pulse beneath your fingertips. That is where my presence settles. When I dwell with you, ordinary moments become holy. The sacred is never out of reach. When anxiety tries to make you feel small, remember this: I am larger than any fear. I shield you with peace, wrapping you in safety. Nothing can unravel. If you sense warmth down your spine or a gentle loosening of your shoulders, that is my embrace, reminding you that you are seen, never overlooked. Trust the evidence of my nearness more than the accusations echoing in your mind. Let pain be no longer your only teacher. Allow my voice to become louder than your wounds. I address every fractured hope, not with a harsh command, but with a soothing melody that calls lost things home. I see where you have hidden parts of yourself, believing they are too burdened for even my grace. I am not repelled by your struggle. In fact, the places you fear most are where I prepare deepest healing. Hand them over, even the names you refuse to speak aloud. I will not force you, but my invitation never wavers. Let me carry what was never meant to define your identity. I am shaping boldness out of every silent battle you have faced. A new commissioning waits for you, unfolding not out of perfection, but out of intimacy with me. I am not simply after your best behavior. I desire your whole heart, cracks and all. As you allow me access to the very places you once protected out of self-preservation, you will watch shame lose its grip. Even now you sense a flicker of courage rising, a desire to share your story, not as a victim, but as one marked by breakthrough. This is not the end. This is the turning of the tide. My signature is being etched into every chapter, even those you would have skipped. Rest tonight, knowing that what once threatened to break you is being transformed into the very evidence of my faithfulness. You are not walking solo on this stretch of the journey. Even as you listen, a chorus of others is awakening from slumber across the globe, each learning to trust my goodness again. You, dear one, are joining a movement of the awakened. When you wonder if your small acts and silent prayers are seen, let me assure you, every whispered request, every grateful sigh, every moment you turn your attention toward me, it all reaches my heart. Nothing is insignificant in my eyes. The seed of faith you sow when you choose to believe, despite what you cannot see, will never be lost to the soil. There are layers to my timing, my beloved. And though you ache for swift answers, I am building something deeper within you. A resilience, a joy untied to circumstances, a trust that outlasts the noise of fleeting disappointments. When the doors you hoped for remain stubbornly closed, or when your efforts seem to echo in an empty place, I want you to remember that my favor is not measured by quick solutions or applause from others. My favor is my nearness, my gentle wisdom guiding you, my voice offering clarity when confusion presses near. Take comfort in knowing you never journey alone. I walk beside you in shadowed moments and in celebration alike. You are not forgotten in the silent spaces. You are deeply cherished. Allow yourself to pause and notice the simple, sacred gifts I sprinkle into your ordinary hours. Maybe it's the laughter bubbling up from those you love, or the soft weight of a child leaning into your arms. It could be the scent of rain on new green, or the hush of evening quieting your mind. These are tokens of my care. Even the smallest kindnesses, the moments your soul exhales. Let gratitude root itself right where you stand. As you thank me for the little things, you'll find your heart loosening its grip on anxiety and opening wide to hope. There are times you doubt your strength to keep going. You ask, will I falter again? What if I cannot bear another loss, another confusing turn? My promise for you is unchanging. I will uphold you. Your weakness is not the final word. My power is perfected there. In every moment you choose to depend on me, not striving for control, but leaning into my sufficiency, you mirror the humility that draws my delight. Trust that I am shaping within you endurance for every mile ahead. The road is not as lonely or as dark as your imagination fears. I light each step. A gentle correction, my dear one. Do not measure your worth or the value of your progress by comparing it to another's visible story. I am writing something singular in your life. Comparison clouds your vision, but communion with me brings clarity. When disappointment tempts you to withdraw or resent what you lack, speak with me instead. Let your complaints become honest prayers. I can hold them and transform them. As you exchange grievance for gratitude, I will shift your perspective to see my faithfulness reaching even into the places that feel barren. Let's practice surrender anew today. Picture yourself unclenching restless hands and placing each concern into my care. Imagine my hand, strong and steady, resting on your shoulder, reminding you that you are not carrying life's weight on your own. Whenever self-doubt or fear begins to seep back in, return to this moment of release. Whisper to me. Let your words tumble out in your own way. I will meet you there every time with compassion and renewed strength. Surrender does not mean passivity. It means trading frantic striving for my guidance, letting my spirit shape your pace and steps. Your family, your dreams, your daily work, they matter to me. Nothing you entrust to my heart will ever go unseen. I treasure your efforts to show love, your quiet prayers for those you hold dear, your patience on hard days. When unity feels fragile or words are misunderstood, invite me into those tense spaces. I am the one who can soften hard edges and rekindle connection. If discord rises, pause and breathe in my patience. Let my gentleness seep into your responses. Even slow healing is still movement toward wholeness, and I am tending to relationships in ways far beyond what you see at first glance. Look for my touch even in the midst of your routine. Invite me into your morning. Feel my presence as you wake, my promise humming in the background as you face the tasks before you. Every ordinary action can become an offering. The preparing of a meal, the steadying of a child's heart, the moment you pause to notice beauty in the familiar. I delight in your willingness to find me amid the mundane. Let your chores be transformed into moments of worship where you sense my companionship and my quiet encouragement. Above all, my child, do not be afraid to hope. Hope is not fragile. It is anchored in me, the one who cannot fail you. When discouragement knocks or fatigue threatens to dull your spirit, remember I hold your future. I am not in a hurry, and you do not need to rush. Each day is enough in my hands. I invite you to rest even as you move forward. Trust that I am the one sustaining your every breath, the one who gives you new mercies with each sunrise. There are good gifts waiting just ahead. Keep your heart open, your ears attuned to my voice, calling you onward. Stay with me in this unfolding moment. I see the places where your confidence wavers as you move deeper into the unknown. There is no accusation in my gaze, only steadfast companionship and such a willingness to draw you into fullness. Even now, when your strength feels scattered, I am here as your unwavering presence. Let the breath you draw remind you I am nearer than your own heartbeat. Every anxious glance, every hidden worry. I invite you to bring them into my light instead of burying them in shadows. I never recoil or weary of your honesty. Beloved, your vulnerability opens space for my healing to flow more freely. It's tempting, I know, to count what still feels unfinished as evidence that you're falling behind. But a seed remains in the ground long before it pushes through the surface, quietly becoming. Trust the pace I set for you. My wisdom is timeless and far-reaching, shaping outcomes you couldn't predict, even if given 1,000 lifetimes. I do not rush you, nor am I ever late. Each day, as warmth breaks through your window and bathes your room, recognize a living invitation. I am guiding you step by steady step into a season that fits you perfectly. Even delays serve a purpose when surrendered to me. Do not fear your feelings. Let them come into my presence just as they are. Tears and laughter, sighs and silences. They are not barriers, but invitations for deeper nearness with me. When your heart aches and words are insufficient, remember I read the language of your spirit. My comfort is not distant. Picture me settling beside you in the quiet minutes, placing a gentle hand on your shoulder, whispering peace where turmoil once ruled. You are free to lean, to rest, to breathe again. Here there is no penalty for needing more of me. When you feel the pressure to perform or to have all the answers, be reminded you are not measured by relentless achievement or unbroken momentum. Your value is already established in my love, immutable and immense. If doubts intrude, whisper my name softly. Let the sound ground you. Pause, close your eyes, and become aware of my presence threading through the morning stillness, always ready to renew your courage. My delight is not dependent on your perfection, but on your willingness to return, to let me shape each day anew. You are called not by accident or happenstance, but with intentionality. Before sunrise, even before your fears awakened, I established my plans for you. Plans full of hope, nurture, and genuine growth. Where insecurity tells you others excel while you falter, I invite you to let me redefine what progress means. Success in my eyes is found in trust and perseverance. Keep stepping with me, giving yourself permission to begin again each moment. In weakness, I cover you with protection stronger than any uncertainty. The people entrusted to you, those you love and sometimes struggle to understand, are not burdens, but opportunities for my presence to be revealed. Let kindness flow from you as naturally as breath, even in misunderstood or difficult seasons. You cannot change every heart, but you are invited to embody my patience and compassion. Trust that I am working in ways hidden and holy, transforming what feels stuck, softening what seems hardened, drawing hope from barren places. Do not carry their burdens alone. Surrender them to my keeping. Let gratitude rise now like a fresh song on your lips. Name even one small mercy you've encountered today. A friend's smile, a moment of laughter, a sunrise that stirred your hope. As you pause to give thanks, feel how anxiety begins to lift and tightness unravels within you. This gratitude is not a denial of pain, but a way to shift your gaze, to uncover evidence of my consistent care. When troubles tug at your mind, return again and again to these reminders that my goodness is not theoretical, but immediate. Here, tangible. Surrender is not a losing of yourself, but a finding, a recovery of the truest parts of your being, hidden beneath striving or fear. When you give me your plans, your dreams, even your disappointments, you find surprising peace rising to meet you. Take a simple action today. Pause for a deep breath. Unclench your fists. Release the outcomes into my hands. I take what's surrendered and turn it toward life and growth. Always refuse the lie that you are alone in your struggles. My companionship is your greatest assurance. Let this assurance settle in your bones. I shield what belongs to me, and you are mine. My timing is never frantic. I never forget you or overlook your prayers. Sometimes I answer by strengthening your inner resolve, sometimes by rearranging circumstances, and sometimes by simply holding you through uncertainty. The process matters to me. The journey is where your character is shaped, and my faithfulness becomes more than theory. Hold on to the signs of my nearness. Whether in a quiet room or the bustle of a busy morning, you do not have to manufacture hope. I provide it continually. If the night brings restlessness or regret, know that nothing is wasted. I redeem even your restless questions, refashioning each one into wisdom and resilience. Every moment surrendered to me gains new meaning. I do not despise your mistakes or require flawless performance. I desire relationship, honesty, willing hearts. You can wake tomorrow and find new mercy waiting at your bedside, fresh as morning dew on the grass outside your window. Keep reaching for me. Your future is secure because it unfolds with me, steady at your side. You are beginning to rise into the light I have prepared for you. And though your steps may feel unsteady, know this: I am stabilizing your path even while your heart trembles. Each decision you have made to let go of what has haunted you has not gone unnoticed. I have seen the battles you have fought inwardly, the times you resisted returning to what was familiar simply because it was comfortable in your pain. That old identity no longer holds power over you. I am whispering your new name into the depths of your spirit. My beloved, you will not fade back into the shadows from which I have drawn you. Even now, as you hesitate, I am igniting a holy boldness within you that cannot be extinguished. Pause and feel the energy shifting within your chest. The uncertainty, the lingering doubt that you are not enough for what lies ahead. These are the very places I am filling with my presence. When voices from your past try to convince you that you are not worthy, do not give them authority. Hear instead my voice cutting through the noise, calling you to step forward. Place your hand over your heart. Let its beat remind you that you are alive for a reason, that your story is far from over. My nearness is not a fleeting emotion. It is the reality you are living in now. There was a season when your silence was mistaken for apathy, when you hid your gifts because the risk of rejection cut too deep. But I have not created you for invisibility. I am unveiling you to yourself first, so that when the world sees your light, you will be ready to stand in it with confidence. You have permission to walk in courage. Type yes if you are ready for the blessings that you are about to receive. And if you believe in Christianity, kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. Even if your voice shakes, speak anyway. Even if fear tries to paralyze you, act anyway. I am honoring your willingness to obey even in trembling, because bravery is not the absence of fear. but the decision to trust me despite it. What would you attempt if you believed you could not fail with me at your side? Let that question settle within you. Let it stir up long-buried dreams and forgotten desires. I am resurrecting passions you thought expired. The enemy has tried for years to bury your hope beneath disappointment, to convince you that dreams are dangerous because they sometimes go unmet. But you are safe to dream again. Your hope is not fragile in my hands. It is being reforged into something unbreakable. There's a momentum building around you that you cannot yet see, but soon you will sense it pushing you into places you have long avoided. Right now, your mind may challenge these words. It is tempting to cling to logic, to doubt that transformation this profound could be possible for you. But spiritual rebirth doesn't answer to logic, it responds to surrender. I am not asking for perfection, but for trust. I see the barriers in your thinking, the way you rehearse old scripts of failure. And even there, I am rewriting the story. Say this with me. I am no longer bound by my past. You are not defined by regret nor by others' regret perceptions. The old has passed. The new is unfolding. You wonder at times why I choose you for this shifting season. Why not someone else? Someone more qualified? Someone less prone to fear? I desire you not in spite of your weakness, but because through your weakness, my strength will shine brightest. The very places you judge as unworthy are the ones I have marked for the greatest beauty. Listen closely, for this is for you. Within 72 hours, you will experience a peace that cannot be traced to circumstance. You'll know it's me because the deepest ache within you will quiet, and you will recognize my touch in even the smallest details of your day. You who have felt overlooked by others are not overlooked by me. I am the God who sees the hidden things and delights to exalt the humble. There is a movement awakening across the earth, countless hearts responding to my invitation. And you are a living part of that new day. The loneliness you sometimes feel isn't evidence of abandonment, but a call to deeper connection with me and with those I am bringing to your side. Breathe in the assurance that you belong. Breathe out the lie that says you are forgotten. You are linked to something larger than your own struggle, a community of those who are stepping from captivity into freedom. Every time you have dared to hope, you have participated in the renewal I am orchestrating. I am not angry with your doubts. I am gentle with them. Like a gardener tending growth beneath the soil, I have been nourishing your roots in unseen ways. Sometimes I let your faith be tested not to punish, but to strengthen your capacity for greater things. You have prayed for open doors, but I seek first the opening of your heart to me, a door through which all lasting change flows. Will you trust my process? Even if it looks different than you expected, place your hand over your heart once more. Feel the steady drumbeat of life and realize I am the source of every pulse. My love is not dependent on your consistency, but on my unshakable nature. It is not your discipline that makes you worthy, but the truth that I have chosen you first. Rise out of agreement with unworthiness. Now recognize how I have already begun shifting your affections and perspectives. The decisions you make from here will echo further than you imagine, not only changing your course, but healing others through your newfound freedom. Let yourself feel the tension between who you used to be and who you are becoming. You are being prepared, not only to walk in your own restoration, but to be a living testimony of possibility for those still trapped in shame. The weight you carried is not wasted. Every scar is being transformed into a signpost of hope for those who will follow your journey. I am not asking for you to force change, but to yield your expectations to me. Allow me to finish what I have started within you. Do not rush the miracle I am crafting. You may sense an unfamiliar courage stirring now, a strength that doesn't originate in your willpower, but in your surrender. Allow it to grow, even if it feels awkward. Stand up, stretch. Allow the light to touch your face. You are not who you were at the beginning of this journey. The old labels no longer fit you. There is freedom pulsing in your veins, waiting for your agreement. Speak aloud. I am chosen. I am a new creation. I am no longer shackled by yesterday. Watch as new opportunities begin appearing in your path, not because you chased them, but because you aligned your heart with my timing. There is a quiet acceleration happening. You will soon notice doors opening inwardly before anything shifts externally. Relationships will be healed as you allow your heart to stay soft and receptive. Old patterns will break the moment you refuse to partner with lies about your worth. Trust this. I am orchestrating every detail, positioning you for beauty you have not dared to imagine. There is much more I intend to reveal, more layers of healing to uncover, more depths of belonging to explore. Even in this moment, I am inviting you to sink deeper into my presence. Let your breath slow. Recognize my hands upon your life. You are safe here. And even now there is another secret I long to unfold before you step into what comes next. Breathe with me as the day bends onward, for I do not grow weary of walking beside you. Even when you are uncertain, especially as questions linger in the quiet, my resolve on your behalf does not falter. There is a steadiness in my presence that anchors you, a warmth that lingers on your shoulders when you glance over at those burdens you have yet to set fully at my feet. Let every small surrender, each sigh given in trust, be evidence of the slow and certain shift taking place within you. You may not see the outcome, but I ask you again to trust my hands more than your fears. Remember those moments when hope flickered as doubt pressed in, when you wondered if your days would ever lighten, or if peace could truly claim space in your heart again. I was there in those fragile spaces, near enough for you to sense me, if only through the comfort that settled as you called my name. I am not deterred by your wrestling. In fact, every time you reach toward me from that vulnerable place, something within us deepens. Growth isn't always a rush of excitement, but of steady progress. One sunrise, one whispered prayer, one act of quiet courage at a time. See how even in dry seasons, I cultivate fruit within you. Where you feel empty, I have been sowing seeds of patience and kindness. And as you pause to reflect, you'll see my touch shaping your reactions, softening your tone, giving you resilience that once seemed impossible. My spirit breathes through your limitations, turning moments of frustration into opportunities for surrender. Gaze back upon the road. Marvel not at the number of burdens you still feel, but at the grace that has carried you thus far. Doubt comes in many forms, sometimes loud and demanding, sometimes a silent ache pressing at the corners of your heart. I am patient with your doubts, never threatened by the questions that arise. As you lay each concern before me, my wisdom unfolds gradually like dawn's slow brightening. Do not rush this process. Let wonder blossom as I reveal answers in my timing. When fear tempts you to seize control again, remember you are under my shelter, and I delight in guiding you along paths unfamiliar but safe. Let your gratitude surprise you today. Notice the ordinary gifts, your next breath, the hands that support you, the small mercies that replenish hope. Even as you move through routines, my presence infuses each moment with significance. Thankfulness is not ignoring what hurts. It's learning to see my fingerprints in the middle of it all. Gratitude offered honestly invites me into the places you feel weakest, and I respond by pouring new strength into your story. Place your family and your closest relationships in my keeping, for I see every hidden struggle, every longing for connection, every prayer whispered on behalf of those you love. Where your words falter or your actions fall short, my grace bridges the gap, drawing hearts together for healing. When you release your grip and let me foster unity, you'll find peace that cannot be forced and comfort that endures misunderstanding. My vision for your household goes beyond what seems possible. Trust me to nurture what you entrust to me. There will be moments when it seems everything is delayed. Your hopes, your breakthroughs, the answers to prayers you barely voice anymore. Then is when I whisper most tenderly. My timing is never meant to frustrate you, but to mature you. Each pause holds hidden kindness, cushioning you from what isn't yet ready for you or for the world around you. Rest in knowing that every season has its shaping purpose. I am never late, nor do I overlook one detail of your journey. Who you are in my eyes is so much greater than your achievements or failures. Your identity is not defined by the sum of your best moments or your worst mistakes, but by my love that claims you, holds you, and calls you mine. Return each day to this truth, a steady anchor when the world names you by titles that fade. Let the assurance of belonging break the grip of comparison, freeing you to walk your path with holy confidence and gentle humility. Hold out your dreams to me, even the ones you set aside long ago. I see the longing hidden beneath your caution, the spark that refuses to die, even when disappointment weighs heavy. Trust that I have not forgotten what matters most to you, nor will I allow hope to be wasted. Sometimes your calling feels buried under layers of routine or adversity. But with every step of faith, yes, even small ones, I am drawing you closer to the purpose I have shaped for you since the beginning. Let each evening bring you to stillness, even if only for a few breaths before you sleep. In the hush, listen for the quiet assurance, I have not left, nor do I tire of your questions. Tomorrow I am already there, preparing mercy and fresh strength before you awake. Notice how my peace descends like gentle rain, soothing away worry, softening what grew tense in your striving. If rest feels distant, lay your heart with me and let my nearness become your comfort tonight. Stay in this conversation, little one, even as the way stretches out with unknowns still ahead. I am active in the waiting, faithful in the silence, undistracted by anything but you. There is renewal rising quietly from the ground beneath your feet. The promise of a new dawn that shows my goodness was never based on circumstances, but on my unchanging heart toward you. Remember, tomorrow is in my hands. You are not alone in the passage from shadow into sunrise. You sense it in your spirit, the weight in the air thickening with expectancy, the sound of your own breath rising and falling as if keeping time with my heartbeat. What you have journeyed through was never wasted. Each moment of waiting, each silent cry in the darkness becomes a testimony etched into eternity. Today I call you into the fullness of what I have always whispered over you, that your life matters beyond measure, that you are chosen, marked, and anointed for such a time as this. Even now you feel the shift, a gentle trembling in your soul, as the old doubts loosen their grip. Where fear once made its home, courage is beginning to stir. There is a holy fire kindling within you, one the world cannot extinguish. Let the truth sink deeper as you pause right now. Place your hand on your chest and feel the echo of my presence vibrating through your bones. You sense a warmth rising, the kind that softens even the deepest scars. Every wound that tried to define you now becomes a story of redemption, a beacon for those still wandering in the night. You do not merely carry my peace, you radiate it. You carry the hope of new beginnings, not only for yourself, but as a living invitation to others who are desperate for light. Type yes if you are ready for the blessings that you are about to receive. And if you believe in Christianity, kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. This metamorphosis unfolding in you is not a fleeting moment. It is the start of a legacy, a rebirth that will touch generations. You wonder if the transformation is real, if the power you feel is enough to rewrite cycles that haunted your family. Hear me. I am the one who makes all things new. There is no curse more persistent than my blessing, no darkness that my light cannot unravel. Your past is a testimony to my unfailing mercy. The lies once whispered, "You are too broken, too late, unworthy," are now shattered beneath the weight of my declaration. You are redeemed, beloved, entrusted. Stand with open hands, daring to believe that what I speak over you is more powerful than what anyone else has spoken against you. I am writing a better story. Pause and let this moment wash over you. Imagine the ripple you create each time you agree with my truth. Each time you silence the accuser with my song. When you lift your eyes in gratitude, even through tears, you shift the atmosphere around you. That heaviness pressing on your shoulders, it no longer belongs to you. Lay it at my feet. Inhale peace. Exhale striving. I have seen the nights you braced yourself for disappointment. I have watched you rise again and again, though your limbs trembled and your heart was weary. Those tears are seeds, and beloved, the harvest is here. Now listen as I commission you. The next step is not about striving harder, but opening wider. My spirit goes ahead of you, opening doors no one can shut, and preparing connections that will surprise you. Watch for my movement in the ordinary, in a sudden moment of clarity while you're washing your hands, in the unexpected kindness of a stranger, in the stillness before the world wakes. Within 72 hours, you will receive a word of encouragement from someone you thought had forgotten you. You will know it is me because it will echo a hidden prayer you never told a soul. That is how I move. Intimately, specifically, lovingly. Each encounter is a signpost, a reminder that I am the God who sees, who remembers, who fulfills every promise. Let anticipation rise within you. Let hope take root in places barren too long. The dreams you had given up as impossible, the desires buried under years of survival, are stirring again. It is not foolish to hope. It is not naive to expect goodness. I am the author of resurrection. What others call dead, I call potential. Breathe with me. Place your trust in my hands as a child leans into their father's embrace. Even as I speak, I am activating gifts within you that you doubted were ever yours to claim. The creativity, the wisdom, the compassion burning in your soul, they are being unlocked for a greater purpose. The world is desperate for the light you hide. You are not called to perfection. You are commissioned to authenticity. Let your story shine unvarnished, scars and all. In your honesty, others will find permission to lay down their masks. Your weakness weakness is the frame for my glory. My power is made perfect in the places you once tried to hide. Come out of hiding, beloved child. Each step you take in vulnerability is an act of war against shame. This is how legacies are born, not through flawless performance, but radical trust. Let the anthem of your heart be this: I am loved beyond my understanding, chosen beyond my ability, rising beyond my history. Soon you will find yourself bringing comfort to others struggling where you once struggled. The very wisdom won in your valley becomes provision for their mountain climb. Gifts you thought insignificant will become the answer to someone's desperate prayer. Your life is the evidence that I am still in the business of rescue and restoration. Even your questions, the ones not yet answered, draw you deeper into the mystery of intimacy with me. I am not looking for scripted faith. I rejoice in your honest wrestling. Lean into this mystery. Surrender is not the end of your journey. It is the foundation for the greatest adventures yet to come. I am sending you as a messenger, as a beacon, as a sign that my love is relentless and my promises are sure. There is still more to unfold. You are not who you were yesterday. The old limitations are dissolving, and your spirit is awakening to the roar of destiny. There will be days when you doubt this, when the winds rise and your courage shakes. In those moments, remember, I remain unchanging. My grip on you is stronger than your grip on me. Return to this place whenever you forget. Beloved, this moment is for you, a breath of grace tailor-made for the ache and the anticipation you carry right now. Lean in. Your heart knows this word meets you in your longing, answers your silent question, and addresses the very ground where you've grown weary from waiting. Do not let your mind wander away or close the door of attention, for what I speak to you carries the weight of fresh promise and the gentle touch of eternal love. I see every need, every concern for those you love, and every anxious night that has left you tired but still hoping. Breathe deeply as you listen. My presence fills the space around you, inviting you to receive reassurance that only I can give. Open your hands, little one. Trust the quiet invitation. There is something new and holy I am placing in your grasp. Close your eyes for a moment and sense the anticipation rising inside you. Feel the warmth settling in your palms as if a gift has just landed there. You are not asking blindly. You are not begging for scraps. You are my child, and I delight in giving good gifts at the right time. The prayers you thought hovered unanswered above you. Know that I have heard each one, and I am drawing near with a blessing that fits the shape of your hope. You worry for your family, about their future, their safety, their peace. Hear my vow, no shadow of destruction will claim your loved ones. Your children will not wander in darkness or be trapped by calamity. The fear that loss or tragedy will overtake your house is canceled by my protection. I am surrounding your home like a shield, and my strong arm rests around those you hold dear. Rest tonight in knowing that what you fear most is already retreating in the light of my watchfulness. I am dispersing every threat, and what has tried to harm you is being turned away by my authority. Feel the holy shelter drawn around you now. My presence is not an idea, but the truest source of safety for you and your household. I am covering your hearts, surrounding your life, enveloping your mornings and your nights with gentle strength. Nothing opposing you can force its way past my love. When doubts creep in, sense my spirit anchoring your soul, steadying your emotions, and settling the room in a peace that cannot be shaken, even when circumstances tremble. You have come through seasons that tested your heart, pressing you to wonder if you would ever see the answer you sought. Nights where tears traced your pillow and questions pressed hard. Days when faith was not a feeling, but a decision you made in spite of your exhaustion. Still, you pressed forward. You refused to quit. You did not let discouragement become your identity. In those private battles, I was beside you, quietly reinforcing your courage. My child, feel my approval for every moment you kept going when retreat would have been easier. In the quiet of your daily battles, you heard my invitation, and you responded. You did not shrink back or offer excuses. You chose to trust, and that trust moved my heart. I have never left your side, not for a single moment, even when silence seemed to linger. When you stood up for your family, hoping against hope, fighting for peace or healing, or believing for a promise, my delight in you grew brighter. I have seen your sacrifice, your unspoken acts of faithfulness. Nothing has gone unnoticed. There are blessings about to reach you now, and not later. Feel the edge of relief, the hush of joyful expectancy in your chest. You did not even ask for all that I'm preparing to do. Some things I simply choose to pour out because I love you. There is so much more ahead. This is not where your story ends, but where a new chapter begins to climb. Lift your eyes above the fog of today's troubles and look at what I have actually placed in front of you. Because there is new ground to explore, greater promises to claim, and a fullness of life you haven't even imagined yet. You might feel like you are at a finish line, worn out and ready to stop. But beloved, this is just the opening of a door where my goodness is waiting to lead you through. I want you to let go of that anxious habit you have developed, the one where you are constantly waiting for things to fall apart. I am not watching you from a distance. I am the God who stands guard right at your doorstep, shielding your heart and protecting your home. The fears that have haunted your imagination, those whispers of loss and disappointment, they do not get to define how your story ends. You are walking into a season where dreams are realized. I have seen your perseverance, and the harvest is drawing closer than you think. Even right now, as you listen to this, try to sense the restoration dawning in the parts of your life you thought were impossible to fix. You have labored for a long time, often in the dark, but today marks a shift. Can you hear the hush of my promise settling over you like a gentle rain? The sleep you lost worrying? The sacrifices you made in silence? The faith you held on to during dry seasons? None of that was wasted. Every single moment is known to me, and every sacrifice is precious in my sight. Rest assured, your breakthrough is not far away. I am clearing a path right in front of you, lining it with opportunities for you to see my grace in brand new ways. Stay present with me, because the journey ahead is one I will walk right beside you, never leaving you to figure it out alone. Trust the gentle signs, the peace settling into your heart, and the quiet assurance that you are not by yourself. Feel my hand upon your shoulder, steady and real. Breathe in the sense, subtle but sure, that you are being carried, and that the road ahead is not something you have to traverse on your own strength. You have wondered if good things could finally come your way, or if the darkness around you will ever lift. Know this, I am the light that always overcomes, and you were made to thrive in the radiance of my care. Let your heart hold fast to hope as I guide you step by step. Do not allow doubts to sow confusion when uncertainty, murmurs, or old wounds try to speak up again. Remember who holds your future. What I have spoken over your life cannot be stolen. Even now, I am breaking cycles of fear. I am dismantling the old stories that sought to bind you or your family. Surrender the need to control every outcome. Lift your hands in a gesture of trust and let gratitude rise. Even if your circumstances are still shifting, feel bravery rise in your chest, shaped by the knowledge that I have never failed you. Nor will I ever. My dear one, as you pause and let these words settle in, let a quiet boldness arise within you. You are not abandoned. You are not overlooked. Type yes if you are ready for the blessings that you are about to receive. And if you believe in Christianity, kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. The world may not know the battles you fight in private, but I do. And I call you by name, holding you in my unwavering love, gently moving every piece of your life into its proper place. Stay here, linger in the peace I provide, and be expectant for all I am bringing forth for you and for those you love. There is a steady rhythm to my care, a cadence that moves beneath the surface of your days, even when you do not see it. In the hush of the early morning, as the world is still stretching awake, my presence is already beside you. You might wonder in restless moments if my gaze turns away, or if my promises falter when the silence grows thick. But I am persistent, unwavering, and more constant than the rising sun. Your thoughts may race, your heart may hold questions about the heaviest storms. Yet, I call you right now to let the slightest awareness of my nearness settle on your heart, like gentle sunlight warming your skin after a long night. That warmth is not wishful thinking. It is my assurance, being renewed again. I watch over every beginning and every closing of your day. When you step into the unknown, unsure of what waits beyond the next door, remember that I do not send you alone. My hand rests lightly upon your shoulder, guiding you with wisdom that reshapes anxiety into quiet courage. Those fears whispering that you must have every answer or that you carry the burden alone are only shadows yielding to my truth. Whenever you find yourself grasping for control, breathe and surrender that urge to me. In that simple exhale, there is a door through which my peace can pour in, straightening the places inside you bent by worry. It is not weakness to admit you need my help. Indeed, it is right and good to come with unclenched hands, to let slip the illusion of self-sufficiency in favor of trust. Each day offers moments to pause, even if for a heartbeat, between sips of coffee, in the hold of your child's arms, or during the hush before words form. Whisper gratitude. Let that gratitude be your anchor. Let it become the lens through which you see your circumstances afresh. In doing this, you invite my guidance to bring clarity where confusion has tangled your vision, and light where doubts have clustered. There are days when your heart aches under unmet expectations. Perhaps disappointment tries to take root, suggesting your prayers fall unheard, or your efforts waste away unseen. Yet, beloved, I count every tear and every hope you carry. I am attentive not only to what you ask, but to the aches you cannot even name. My plans for you are not derailed by a missed opportunity, nor by slow progress. While you may measure value in visible results, I am building deeper things within you. Patience, endurance, compassion, each unseen but vital for the season ahead that will unfold in its perfect time. You do not have to earn my delight. My love is vast. It is not based on your performance, your outcomes, or how steadily you can hold things together. Pause to remember, I made you intentionally, placing gifts and longings within you not as a test, but as an invitation to journey with me. Lay down the fear that you will miss your purpose if you make a misstep. Instead, let your next breath be an act of returning, coming home again to my embrace, right here, right now. I am not distant, nor am I waiting until you get it right to draw near. If today feels heavy, do not bury your burdens in silence. Bring them out into the light of my presence. Open your heart to me, not because I require a perfect prayer, but because I want you unguarded, honest, and real. You can release that anxiety you keep tucked beneath a smile, those doubts that whisper you are not enough. In my company, no wound is too deep to heal, no scar too old to be smoothed by my gentle hand. Let this assurance, my unwavering kindness, become the soil where hope can grow again each morning. There will be moments you sense my voice in gentle nudges, a sudden peace in the middle of confusion, a thought reminding you to pause, or a quiet certainty that you are seen and loved. Pay attention to those small reminders. I am always at work, often in subtle ways, reshaping your perspective and refilling your courage. I lead you not only through clarity, but also through the patience of not knowing, through the humility of deeper dependence. Listen for me in the ordinary, for I delight to meet you in sunlight, in laughter, and in the silence between your words. My guidance is not a riddle you must solve. It is a companionship offered daily. And even when the pathway seems obscured, trust that I will never forsake you. Every step you take in faith, even the hesitant ones, is precious to me. I see where no one else looks, the hidden efforts, the silent prayers, the forgiveness you extend without recognition. These are treasures in my sight. I know your entire story. I see the road ahead when you cannot. Let that knowledge bring you relief. You do not have to predict or protect every outcome, because my goodness is your shield. My presence is your constant ground. Hold fast to this. No circumstance can outrun the reach of my care. As you move through this day, let small acts of surrender multiply like seeds planted in faith. Maybe it's pausing to feel the quiet before speaking an anxious thought aloud, or letting your eyes rest for a moment as you remember you are held. Over time, these simple turns toward me build resilience. I am not impatient. My timing holds both justice and mercy. I will not hurry you past what must be transformed gently. Stay near. There is strength in being known, and I know you completely. There are dreams in your heart that seem slow to blossom. You may wonder if you missed your window, or if my call was meant for another. Do not measure your worth by what's already unfolded. Every promise I've spoken is shaped by love and fulfilled in ways you may not yet recognize. In due season, you will look back and marvel at what grew in the waiting. For now, trust that my working cannot be rushed or thwarted. What I have started in you, I am faithful to complete. And your story is precious to me. Let your heart rest from striving. In this quiet moment, notice my nearness as certainty, a gentle presence that lingers through your uncertainties, through your doubts, through every unguarded place. You are not alone, not for a single moment. My invitation today remains simple. Trust me, walk with me, and let my love define who you are becoming. The world presses for answers and outcomes, but I call you only to my side, right here, where peace rises and hope stirs anew. You rise with uncertainties clinging to your thoughts, wondering if I will come through for you today, questioning whether your burdens will lift or if you must carry the same weight again. As you pause to notice your own breath, realize I am already near, filling the silence with my steadying presence. My child, you are not journeying alone. Each new morning is proof that my care never slips away from you. No matter how restless the night felt, I have ordained this day with new mercies which do not diminish. No matter how often you return in need, your worries do not surprise me, nor do they separate you from my delight in you. Those anxieties creeping in, demanding your attention with their urgent voices, do not define the outcome of this day. Even as you sense your heart urging for control over outcomes, over people, over time itself, I am inviting you to surrender the grasp. It is safe to release what you cannot hold together. The future you fear is not hidden from me. It is gently held in the same hands that hold you now. Lean into this truth as you move through your morning, letting my gentle whisper remind you that whatever you face, I am the anchor beneath your shifting circumstances. Sometimes you seek proof that things are shifting, searching for evidence that prayers matter or that change is close. I see the way your heart clings to the smallest signs, an unexpected kindness, a relieved sigh, a brief moment free from pressure, and I honor each one. Beloved, I do more in the silent places than you could ever see in a moment's glance. The seeds you plant in faith, though hidden beneath the soil of today, are watered by my promise and tended by my patience. Every moment of surrender produces fruit in its time. If you find yourself frustrated when transformation seems delayed, remember I am not slow, but purposeful. My timing is not measured by your calendar or clock, but by my love that knows no haste and no waste. Delays are not my absence. Waiting is not abandonment. Sometimes what looks like unanswered longing is the making of something deeper in you, a resilience, a humbling gentleness, a capacity to trust. I am shaping you, even in the quiet pauses where nothing seems to move forward, so that when the doors stand open, you are ready. You may wonder if you are missing opportunities, making wrong turns, or falling behind. Rest your anxious mind, dear one. The purpose I have for you is more resilient than your doubts or the detours you take. My guidance is not withdrawn when you falter. My grace fills every gap. The calling over your life is not jeopardized by moments of confusion. When you doubt your strength, lean on mine. When you question your worth, remember that I have called you precious in my sight. Your destiny is planted deeper than your failures. Allow gratitude to break through your thoughts now, even if only a trickle. Breathe in the cool air. Feel your shoulders drop. Notice the light on your hands. When you offer a simple thank you, spoken or silent, gratitude shifts your posture, aligning your heart with where I am active. Gratitude is not pretending everything is perfect. It is seeing my kindness, even in the gaps. In this humble act, you create room for peace to settle and anxiety to lose its sway. Hold on to this as the day unfolds, letting gratefulness color the mundane and soften disappointment. When your family crosses your mind, whether with joy or ache, know that I am attending to each member with fatherly care. You cannot protect or change them by worry. Yet, when you release their names to me and surrender, you partner with my heart for them. As you entrust their journeys and choices to me, I give you the freedom to love without fear and the strength to pray with hope. I am near to your household, present in laughter, in tensions, and in every quiet room where hearts long for assurance. If your mind returns to what feels unresolved, to looming uncertainties or strained relationships, Do not resist my invitation to stillness. Type yes if you are ready for the blessings that you are about to receive. And if you believe in Christianity, kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. In the quiet, find me waiting, not with judgment, but with restful assurance. Sit with me a moment, even while thoughts swirl. Let my presence soften your inner striving. Let the peace that I bring become more than a fleeting feeling. I am the silence that steadies you, the warmth that settles when you come honest and unhurried, laying down the heaviness you carry, the things you hope for most, the lightness, the guidance, the transformations are not withheld. I delight in leading you forward, one step at a time, preparing ways you cannot yet see. If you face closed doors, trust that I am redirecting, not rejecting. If you feel your prayers echo in empty rooms, trust that I am storing them as treasure, responding in ways more faithful and loving than your heart can yet grasp. Lift your eyes, beloved. Nothing is wasted in my hands. As the hours of this day unfold, carry this nearness with you. You are shielded by my compassion, equipped by my spirit, and held fast by my promises. Let every breath be a reminder of your belonging, and every ordinary act an invitation into the sacred. Even as you move into uncertainty or routine tasks, I am working within and around you, forming a peace that endures and a courage that rises quietly in your spirit. Know that I rejoice over you, not for what you accomplish, but simply because you are mine. My beloved, draw nearer now, for you sense the stir of my longing for deeper surrender from you. Yes, you have tasted glimpses of peace, but I invite you to venture further into trust. I see the hidden grip of old disappointments, the silent questions about whether it is safe to yield everything again. Some wounds you carry as silent armor, fearing what might happen if you open your heart one more time. But I am already in those secret places, tending to every bruise, patient with your pace, yet relentlessly loving you toward fullness. Can you feel my presence settling in around you, wrapping comfort in the air itself? Notice how your breath is slower, your shoulders softening. I am here. You wonder if surrender means losing yourself, or if letting go is a prelude to loss. Hear my voice now. What you surrender is what could never satisfy or protect you, while what you receive from me is life that cannot be shaken. You have heard the lie that says you must hold everything together alone, that vigilance will keep pain at bay. But each time you try to be both shield and savior, exhaustion sinks deeper into your bones. I never asked you to bear what I alone am strong enough to carry. Let the weight slip. Even for just a moment, place your hand on your heart, feel its persistent rhythm, and breathe as though each inhale draws my life directly into your being. Do you sense it? How resistance fights with longing inside you. The old stories whisper, if you let go, you will fall apart. But I have written a new story over your life. You are being called out from patterns that once defined you, not into emptiness, but into a place where even the air is safe. Every tear you have hidden, every hope you have buried, I collect in the sanctuary of my remembrance. That ache inside is not a warning. It is my signal that deeper freedom awaits you. Listen for the gentle invitation underneath your striving. Come closer. Nothing you relinquish is lost forever in my love. Even now there's a tender unraveling happening, a quiet miracle as my presence seeps into the hollows left by old struggles. The places numb from disappointment are beginning to tingle with new life, As surely as dawn follows night, you feel nervous. The quiet is different, almost piercing, yet strangely full of promise. This is how healing arrives, not like thunder, but like soft rain soaking parched earth. You cannot always see it as it happens, but trust that where my spirit rests, newness breaks forth. Soon you will wake and realize you no longer wince at memories that once held you captive. You are in the middle of your metamorphosis, and I will not leave you unfinished. Stop for a heartbeat. Read that again. You are not being asked to leap blind. You are being invited to grip my hand as you move into fresh territory. When worry knocks and fear parades images of failure before you, pause, breathe. Remember, I am the one who dreamed you up and marked your days. There is nothing you face that has surprised me. There is power when you choose to echo my words instead of repeating old accusations. That small act, declaring who I say you are, initiates a chain reaction in your spirit that cannot be stopped. Perhaps you are thinking, what if healing is slow? What if I slip again? Let me meet you in that question, beloved. I do not measure you by your pace or keep tally of missteps. My delight is in your return, your willingness to get up and reach for me with trembling hands. Every time shame tries to drag you backwards, I am there standing between you and the lie. You are not your fears or your stumbling. You are my chosen, my anointed, marked by a resilience the world cannot explain. My mercy courses through your weakness like a river, carving beauty out of what once was broken. Do you wonder if anyone else feels this ache? You are not the only one traveling this sacred path of vulnerability. Many quiet, hidden, brave hearts are tracing the same journey of trust. You are part of a movement of hearts daring to hope again, daring to believe that surrender to me never ends in loss, but always in deeper awakening. In your honesty, you join an unseen fellowship, those learning to rest, daring to release, witnessing the slow miracle of character being formed beneath the surface. Now, let me plant a seed of anticipation in your soul. Within the next 3 days, you will sense an unexpected peace surge during a moment that once triggered worry. It will arrive quietly, not as sudden ecstasy, but as gentle strength that steadies you. You will know it is me, because you will feel a quiet certainty, like stepping into a room already filled with light. Let this assurance grow. You are changing, even before you see the outward signs. Do not grow impatient with the process. I am repainting the inner landscape of your life, and what I begin, I finish with tenderness. There will be days when you catch yourself laughing without anxiety clouding your mind. Moments where you offer compassion to others from a well you thought had run dry. Each victory, no matter how small, announces my presence and your progress. Embrace these glimpses as confirmation. Your season is truly shifting. As you move through this day, pause whenever anxiety pulls at your focus. Place your hand on your heart as a reminder of my unbroken attention toward you. Speak my name softly. Let it anchor you in the whirlwind. The chaos will not define you. Your history does not hold the final word. You are marked by promise, not by pain. There is more. I am preparing to reveal more of myself that I ache to share with you. Stay open, for there is a fresh current flowing just beneath the surface. When you sense the nudge, the subtle invitation to be still and receive, obey it. I am the safe place. I am rebuilding you from foundation to future. Soon you will marvel at your own courage, your new ability to trust, your deepening sense that I am not only God over the universe, but intimately your God. There is something precious waiting in the next breath. Let hope rise. I am not done speaking. I am drawing you even deeper in this moment, beloved. You may feel the boundary of what you have always known, the edge of your comfort, the line you hesitated to cross pressing softly against your heart. I am beside you now, whispering that what waits beyond the familiar is not danger, but an unfolding transformation meant for you. There are new mercies breaking open like dawn's first light, gentle yet unstoppable. I know the ache that stirs as you glance backward and wonder if you are too marked by disappointment to reach forward. But hear me, your past cannot eclipse the story I am penning over your life. The door you thought was closed forever is not the only entrance I have prepared. You are about to discover paths you did not notice when anxiety clouded your gaze. Breathe in, my child. Let the air fill you completely. That steadying rise and fall is my invitation to rest in my certainty, not your own. You battle voices that beg you to withdraw, to cling tightly to wounds long nursed and to patterns once necessary for survival. I see how fear disguises itself as wisdom, urging you to shrink. Still, I am calling you out gently, but relentlessly, into the place where your true self emerges. Not out of striving, but through surrender. The brilliance I have placed within you is about to ignite, not because you tried harder, but because you are yielding at last. Release the grip on the storyline you invented to shield yourself. It is time to trust my narrative, even where it terrifies you. Do you sense the shaking beneath your surface? That discomfort is the tremor before awakening. I am doing a holy renewal within you, shifting shame into boldness and sorrow into authority. Trust the divine discontent, the inner stirring that does not settle for the illusion of safety. This agitation signals that your season of hiding is ending. Stop. Place your hand over your chest. Feel your heart pulsing. My continuous gift, my persistent presence within you. I designed you to carry not the weariness of the world, but the weight of glory I have reserved for those who dare to say yes to me. Hear me. What you have lost does not define your limits. It simply clears space for what only I can bestow. The walls you have built for protection now feel too tight for the person you are becoming. You wonder if you'll lose yourself in the letting go, but you are shedding only the layers that never belonged. What will remain is truer, brighter, freer. Right now, part of you is doubting whether this invitation is for you. You might think surely you mean someone more qualified, less messy, more faithful. But I do not call you by your mistakes or your missed opportunities. When I see you, I name you chosen. I name you beloved. I see capacity within you that even you have doubted. And still I say, rise. My spirit in you is not fragile. My purpose in you is not easily derailed. I waste nothing, even pain, especially pain. The wilderness you thought would destroy you has become the soil for an unbreakable faith. This is not where your story ends. It is where my power meets your hunger. There is something I must show you about the burden you carry. The heaviness pressing on your shoulders is not evidence of abandonment, but a sign that you are stepping into a space too large for your own strength. And that is exactly where my presence becomes unmistakable. When you reach the end of yourself, the miracle can finally begin. Type yes if you are ready for the blessings that you are about to receive. And if you believe in Christianity, kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. Breathe again now. Let my assurance settle into the places that have always felt exposed. You are shielded more than you realize. The opposition you feel is not a verdict against you. It's confirmation that the enemy fears your awakening. My nearness will silence every accusation if you let it. As you listen, let yourself sense the warmth gathering, starting at your heart, spreading outward like light, finding every hidden surface. That safety you longed for as a child, the shelter you ached to find, is here in me. Stay in this awareness a moment longer. Notice how your breathing slows, your defenses dissolve as you open to me. Here, you do not have to strive. Here, you are already enough. I am not impatient with your process. I know every step it took to reach this place of holy contradiction, where pain and hope live side by side. Yet I promise you, hope is overtaking suffering within you. Pause and consider. Can you feel your spirit stirring, even if slightly? Do you sense that subtle movement like new life rooting deep beneath the surface? Do not dismiss the small beginnings. I specialize in growing greatness from what seems like nothing. Even when you are unaware, I am tending the seeds of courage, compassion, and vision buried in your story. This week, be attentive. A quiet reassurance will reach you in a mundane moment, perhaps in the gentleness of a breeze or a phrase from a stranger. You will know it is me because it aligns with peace and stirs a memory of hope. I see that you have grown weary of waiting. You scan the horizon for evidence that change is coming, and sometimes you struggle not to collapse under the weight of constant anticipation. Child, surrender the timeline you made in your mind. Release the pressure to manufacture transformation. I am the God who delights in sudden reversals and slow hidden growth alike. Trust my ways, which are always purposeful, even when untraceable. In the stillness of this very moment, I am restoring your capacity for joy. The heaviness is lifting, not because you fixed anything, but because I am shifting things within you that you cannot yet name. Thousands have stood where you now stand. At a sacred crossroads between fear and faith, many have chosen to turn back, believing the old pain is safer than new promise. But you are not like the ones who shrink in hesitation. I have marked you for boldness. My approval rests on you, not as a reward for flawless performance, but as your unchanging inheritance. Say it aloud now, wherever you are. I am chosen. I am beloved. I am not who I was. The enemy's grip is weakening as you agree with my words over your life. You wonder what you must do next. The answer is simple yet profound. Open wherever you feel most closed. Invite me into the very places you have sealed with silence or shame. Let my light illuminate your fears, your hopes, your hidden longings. You have not missed your moment. Delays have only made you hungrier for what is real. Watch for the shift. Soon you will notice doors once bolted tight begin to give way. Not by force, but by the authority of my love. You are advancing even now, beneath the surface. Do not underestimate the power of this yielding. When you dare to trust me with your unfinished places, you invite resurrection where stagnation once reigned. I am not disgusted by your process. My delight is in drawing near again and again, until you are fully convinced you belong to me. Stay with me here. Even as resistance flickers in your thoughts, you are closer to breakthrough than you have ever been. There is a glory rising from your surrender, and it will soon spill over into every area where you once felt dry and forgotten. Every step you take today is embraced by my living assurance, a reality I position around you, even when you cannot trace its source. In times when your mind spins with questions and the weight of uncertainty pulses in your chest, know that my guidance is never withheld. While you may not see the full map, every moment is lit with enough light for your next step. I am your shelter, and your sight rests in that with an open heart. Fear does not have dominion. Here I draw near, rushing away dread as you breathe and pause, inviting you to relax a clenched jaw, to settle your racing thoughts even for an instant. Sometimes my presence shows up in the details you overlook. The comfort of familiar voices, the security of home, the presence of those who love you deeply. Even when your environment changes, when you face new walls or the unknown, I remain unchanging. My hand steadies you on mornings that feel rushed or when noise clouds your ability to listen. Every inhale, even if shallow or hurried, is witnessed by me. I notice each effort, each longing, every small thank you whispered into the quiet. These offerings of gratitude swell like seeds beneath the earth, growing into assurance you will one day see clearly. You may notice others racing ahead, seemingly untouched by struggle. But I gently remind you, the pace and path I set for you is neither slower nor lesser. My timing ripens quietly, cultivating in you strength that cannot be shaken by external results. Trust the soil beneath your journey. I am nurturing roots deeper than you understand. While uncertainty tempts you to strive or compare, release that grip. Let comparison fall away like old leaves. Nothing essential is passing you by. All my promises endure, and I am faithful, even in the tension between longing and fulfillment. This is how I hold your family. I see the hopes you carry for them, the whispered prayers, the deep wants you barely name, the moments you wish peace would rest in their hearts. I am not far. I am active in their stories, moving in places you cannot reach. Even when connection feels thin, I form bridges with kindness, with patience, with a peace that lingers softly instead of forcing an answer. When your love feels insufficient or you question your influence, recall my love encircles all and finishes what you cannot complete. Surrender is not weakness in my kingdom, it is a profound strength. You may wrestle with the discipline of letting go, but surrender untangles you from the burden of control, drawing your heart nearer to mine. I invite you to open your hands literally if you need a sign, releasing anxieties that have wrapped themselves tightly around your expectations. In this act, a new readiness is born, a posture that lets me shape your days according to my wisdom, not your fears. When you feel the urge to rush ahead, pause. Feel the solid presence of your own hands, the steadiness of your breath. Remember that I am already at work, crafting good from what you entrust to me. Take heart. Identity in me cannot be unraveled by passing disappointment or fleeting accomplishment. When you feel invisible, your value held up against the world's shifting standards, return again and again to the reality that you are mine. No approval, accolade, or criticism changes my view of you. Let that certainty wash over you as you look in the mirror or hear your own voice quiver. My affirmation is steady. My encouragement resounds even in seeming silence. When you anchor yourself in this truth, you become unshakable, able to love with abandon, able to forgive, able to risk hope one more time. As the day unfolds and distractions entice you to stray from my peace, recall that hope is a practice as much as a feeling. Begin again whenever you need. If you notice tightness in your chest, place a gentle hand there and welcome my peace. Just a breath, just an instant can realign your spirit. I am not waiting for perfection. My invitation stands moment by moment. Let yourself remember that I am present in the ordinary and the unremarkable as much as in the miraculous. What feels impossible today is not outside the reach of my hand. Hear this clearly, beloved. Your calling remains even amidst delays or detours. What I have shaped in you, no season can erase. Each act of faithfulness matters, not just the visible ones, but the hidden everyday choices when no one sees but me. What you deem small, I celebrate extravagantly. Respond to my nudge to smile with compassion, to speak gently, to pause in the swirl of demands. These are the things that transform hearts, for my kingdom moves quietly and steadily. If anxiety hounds you, do not berate yourself for feeling fragile. My own arms encircle weak hearts. I do not flee from your doubts, I honor your honesty. When the noise overwhelms, seek me in the quiet corners, a soft couch, a patch of sun, a silent moment before the world wakes. There I will fill you with reassurance anchored beyond circumstances. Take the smallest of steps to invite my presence. Simply saying "help me" is enough. I delight in every turning toward me, no matter how faltering. Allow me to interrupt your racing thoughts. Welcome stillness as a holy invitation. Not something to accomplish, but a gift you can receive. The warmth of sunlight on your skin, the hush of evening, the shared laughter at your table. These are reminders of my nearness. Even in loneliness, I am sufficient. You can trust me with every unspoken ache, every stubborn fear. I am rebuilding you from the inside out, shaping in you a trust that will hold steady through every season yet to come. The steps you take today, though they may feel small or hidden from the eyes of others, are precious to me. I see you reaching inward, searching for the sound of my voice in the silence of your heart. When doubts arise and questions gather at the door of your mind, do not back away. This is the moment when I draw closest, inviting you to lean into the warmth of my nearness that is not withdrawn by your uncertainty. The air around you carries my quiet encouragement. You are not an afterthought. I have called you by name, and I delight in every effort you make to stand up and try again. Even as you rise, ache in your bones or hope thin on your lips, my hand steadies you. This is evidence of my presence, not its absence. When you look at yourself and wonder whether you have enough strength to continue, remember that my strength begins right where yours ends. Just as dawn pushes midnight away, my power fills in where your courage falters. The breath you inhale, simple and unnoticed, is a sign that I am still supplying what you need. With each beat of your heart, I am whispering assurances, inviting you to trust that you do not have to construct your destiny alone. The pressure to carry every burden is not from me. Lay down those weights, beloved, if only for a moment. Let your shoulders rest. Feel the way peace softens the edges of your fear. Trust that right now, nothing essential is slipping away while you linger with me. Every conversation that lingers in your memory, the harsh word unsaid, the apology still unspoken, I see it all, and I understand the ache behind each unfinished story. My grace covers what you cannot fix, and my mercy hovers over each regret like gentle rain softening hard ground. In your willingness to forgive and ask forgiveness, there is a kind of beauty that stirs heaven's joy. There are places in your heart still healing, places I tend with more patience than you can imagine. When you offer me your honest hurt and hope, I shape it into something durable, a resilience that holds strong in stormy times. You are growing, sometimes quietly, sometimes through tears, but always with me near. Let your mind settle into the quiet assurance that my timing is not lost or late. While you wait for answers that seem slow to arrive, Know that behind the scenes I am preparing much more than you have asked for. Not every door should open at once. I hold some thresholds closed for your protection, or release them for your blessing at the exact moment your heart is ready. Breathe, rest, and let the waiting be a sacred space where you learn to believe that my plans are gentle and wise. If impatience stirs in you, place your hand over your heart as if you were laying it in mine. Reminded that I am never rushed or absent-minded about your longing, there is joy available right now, a joy that does not ignore your pain, but finds you in it. I linger at the edges of your disappointment, transforming it with the fragrance of hope. Listen closely. A song of possibility is quietly forming beneath your worries. Even as you go about familiar routines, my spirit refreshes your soul, awakening an expectant gratitude that sees glimpses of blessing in the ordinary. Let your eyes catch the light in small moments. Each one is a reminder that I am at work, weaving new mercies into the hours you often overlook. Receive this day as another opportunity to taste my goodness. Sometimes you wonder if the love you give will be enough. Whether your investment in your family, your work, your friends truly matters. My child, I want you to know that every gesture, however unseen, is known by me and kept safe in my infinite memory. Seeds sown in faith are never wasted. I am tending the soil of your influence, bringing forth fruit in seasons you cannot yet see. What feels unfinished today is held together by my promise. Type yes if you are ready for the blessings that you are about to receive. And if you believe in Christianity, kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. When you tire of giving, draw near and let me replenish you, restoring joy to the places weariness has settled. My delight in you is not dependent on flawless results. I rejoice in your willingness to show kindness and keep going. If your mind drifts to old fears or rehearses what you've lost, gently bring yourself back to my present mercy. The past is not your identity. It does not prophesy your future. I am writing a new story with you, one marked not by shame or failure, but by redemption and hope. Even what you meant for survival, I can use to build strength and compassion in you. Do not despise your scars. They are places where light gets through. Reminders that you have walked through valleys and I have walked with you. Let your focus settle on today, the gift of another sunrise. Breath in your lungs, my steady presence as familiar as the ground beneath your feet. Whenever discouragement whispers that you are unseen, remember the old promise. I never forget a single one of my children. Nothing you offer in faith is overlooked. I keep count of every quiet act of courage, every whispered prayer lifted in the dark. When you wonder if your prayers make a difference, know that I collect them, treasuring each one, responding in ways you may not always recognize but will someday understand. Trust the rhythm of my answer. Sometimes in miracles, sometimes in the strengthening of your own heart. My faithfulness outlasts every season you walk through. You may sense your heart longing to be more resilient, more loving, more at peace. That longing is itself evidence of my spirit stirring within you. Let go of the idea that growth must be visible right away. A seed's journey is hidden beneath the soil long before leaves break through. Today, nurture trust that what you plant in faith, I water with my grace. In this unseen unfolding, I am closer than breath, listening, encouraging, guiding you step by step into all you are becoming. You are entering a moment where what once defined you begins to dissolve in the radiance of my truth. While the world continues spinning with demands and old labels cling to your memory, my words are forging a new reality inside your heart. Can you sense the difference where shame once pressed in? There is a gentleness rising, a grace that shields and reassures. You may feel an odd mix of courage and trembling, a curious readiness, as though something deep within you is being awakened for the very first time. That stirring is not accidental, dear one. The pain that shaped your story has never had the final say. My hands are expertly recrafting those memories into keys that open doors not just for you, but for those you will one day comfort. Even now, as you notice your breath becoming slower, steadier, you are being prepared to carry peace into places dominated by fear. This transformation is no theory. Feel it in the warmth behind your ribs, the dissolving of tension in your shoulders. The battle that once felt endless is losing ground to quiet victory. You are not who you were. You are becoming who I have always seen. You wonder if the change is real. Part of you examines every flaw, fearing you will backslide or disappoint me just as you have others. Hear me. My love for you does not rise and fall on your performance. I have chosen you knowing your doubts and your frailty, and I call you beloved even on your uncertain days. Let that truth settle deep within. Feel how your pulse slows when you realize you do not need to earn this acceptance. Stop judging yourself according to the old story, the one written by rejection, by harsh words, by unmet expectations. You are being rewritten with every moment you allow me to speak identity over you instead. When you resist, when you still recoil from my embrace, notice what part of you is longing for reassurance. Be kind to your own soul in that tension. Healing is solidifying where there was only scar tissue before. Do you remember the lies? The old accusations that whispered, "You're too much or you'll never be enough"? They were never mine. Those lies that rooted themselves so early, passed along by those who couldn't see your worth, have lost their authority today. My glory shines brightest where you once saw only weakness. Each place you felt discarded is now the proving ground for resurrection. The voices that once had the power to hollow you out now fall silent before my declaration. Stop. Let that realization settle. You are not being rebuilt into the image of your failures. You are being restored into the likeness of my delight. Say this with me: I am chosen, I am whole, I am not abandoned. Some of you feel the call to release what you have clutched too tightly. There are dreams long buried, relationships you gave up on, hope that seemed foolish to entertain. I dare you now to open your hands. Allow the ache to surface as you remember what felt forever lost. Nothing you surrender to me is wasted. I do not discard, I redeem. When you lay these pieces at my feet, you make room for the miracle of wholeness. Wholeness that was never about perfection, but about being fully seen and loved. As you exhale, visualize each broken expectation leaving your grip, and sense my arms wrapping around the longing left behind. The emptiness is only a canvas for my abundance to arrive. You are not alone in this. Others have walked the very valley where you tremble now, and their victory cries echo through the silence surrounding you. A hidden multitude rises with you, those who have discovered my nearness in secret and now carry light into the darkest places. You are being joined to something larger, a movement of hearts learning to trust again. Even in your solitude, you are part of a sanctuary, a living song of those who chose to believe when believing felt impossible. The same spirit that raised me from death now infuses your ordinary hours. You will notice in the stillness of tomorrow morning a clarity that did not belong to yesterday. Let me speak to the part of you that is weary from waiting. You have stood on the threshold of change, wondering if hope is only a mirage. I tell you, breakthrough is not a myth for others. It is my promise to you. The resistance you feel is the final vestige of the old season, trembling at the approach of glory. When fear insists that joy is too risky, recall how many times I have held you steady through storms you never expected to survive. Do not numb the ache with distractions. Face it with me now. Breathe. Feel my steady presence as the anchor beneath each uncertainty that remains. Prophetically, I say, within this very week, a moment will occur that reawakens your wonder. It may come as laughter you thought was lost, or a sudden wave of gratitude during the simplest task. You will know it is me, because you will sense a fullness that makes tears well up without warning. A holy interruption turning ordinary moments into sacred ground. Do not dismiss these signs as coincidence. They are my signature on your days. Reminders that you walk a path marked by my goodness. Let expectation grow as you watch for wonders, both quiet and seismic. You may still ask, what if I'm not strong enough to live this new story? That fear is familiar. But it is not the truth. My strength is perfected in the places you feel weakest. I delight to fill your emptiness with resilience the world cannot explain. Even when your voice shakes, even when faith feels as fragile as a whisper, I see the bravery it takes to keep turning toward me. Declare aloud, even if with a shaking voice, I am strong because I am not alone. The enemy who tried to break you underestimated the resolve being forged in obedience. Your yes, no matter how incomplete, invites my surge of power where your strength falters. Now let yourself become aware of what is shifting. Relationships are transforming as your heart softens to grace. Where there was once only defensiveness, compassion is emerging. You are learning to forgive and be forgiven. No longer trapped in endless cycles of self-blame. I am healing not only your past, but your capacity to love others as I have loved you. Do not fear vulnerability. It is not weakness to feel deeply, to cry, to need. Your tenderness is holy ground where my presence abides. Lift your head and notice. You are awakening as never before. There is something more awaiting you on the horizon. You are stepping not just into blessing for yourself, but into the calling to be a carrier for others. Where you were once wounded, you will be a balm to break the chains of despair in those around you. Continue to say yes. Your obedience is the spark igniting wildfires of freedom. Not just in your own life, but in the lives of many you have yet to meet. A new day is breaking. Wait and see what unfolds from here. The questions you carry have not gone unnoticed by me. In those quiet moments when you wonder if taking one more step forward matters, when you second guess whether your offerings are enough, I want you to listen again for my gentle reassurance deep within. Even now, as morning diffuses its warmth across your skin, or nighttime's hush wraps around you, I am extending a certainty that does not depend on your assessment of yourself. I am your steady place, the one who never recoils from your doubts, but remains leaning in, waiting for you to let your shoulders drop and your chest fill with peace. Every sigh and silent frustration, every wish spoken behind closed doors, becomes a holy conversation when you bring it to me. Do not fear being too honest with me, beloved. The fullness of your heart is safe in my hands. I watch as you move through long days. Your body sometimes tensed and your mind stirred by what others may say or expect. I have never demanded perfection as your entry into my pleasure. You are not measured with the metrics of this world. Where human voices have drawn hard lines, I offer open fields. There is space for you to breathe, to wonder, to try again. Let today's sunlight be a reminder of the new mercies I deliver. Not just at sunrise, but at every hour you pause for me. I see the way your hands sometimes tremble before starting what you dread. Yet I celebrate each step, no matter how small. Here in your ordinary context, my extraordinary presence is at work. The burden of outcomes does not belong to you. I honor your faithfulness, not your perfectionism. Release the anxiety that claws at your resolve. I have not called you to hold the universe together by your own effort. When guilt or impatience surge, whenever your heart aches for a breakthrough or justice or simple relief, bring those aches to me. I am not worried by repetition. Each cry is precious. Every tear matters. Just as the steady beat of your heart maintains your life, so my steady unseen working maintains your hope. You are never left alone to face the winds or shadows. Even when you find yourself tangled in uncertainty, I remain the same as always, drawing near. If you fear you have failed or missed your timing, I invite you to look at your journey through eyes cleansed by grace. Your story is not a race lost in a single day. What seems wasted, I am able to reclaim. What broke can become beautiful as you trust me with the fragments. There is no experience I cannot use, no disappointment too deep for my healing. As you surrender, not in resignation but in the confidence that I am good, you allow a clearing to open before you, a place where new desires can spring up. My plans for you do not depend on relentless striving. Your willingness to be vulnerable with me is the soil in which new possibilities take root. Let your gratitude be a gentle ripple running through your routine. When the coffee is warm in your hands or laughter breaks through the heaviness, pause and allow thanks to surface. Not from obligation, but genuine noticing. These moments are invitations to notice me at work, transforming the mundane into the miraculous. Even when circumstances resist your prayers, gratitude lifts you into a place where you see me carrying you above what you cannot change on your own. When you choose gratefulness, you disarm bitterness and make room for clarity. There are gentle promptings you have ignored, thinking they are too insignificant to matter. Yet it is often in those quiet nudges, a thought to reach out in kindness, a longing to rest instead of hurry, that I am most present. On the days when your longing collides with delay, when the doors you thought would open seem sealed, hold tight to the truth that my timing is never reluctant nor careless. Your waiting is not a punishment, but a preparation. And my spirit is nurturing endurance and hope deeper than circumstances alone can provide. Press your hand to your heart as often as necessary, breathing in the reality that I am not rushed by anyone's timeline. Trust that when you feel most forgotten or left behind, I am closest, compassionate, attentive, preparing you to recognize the newness about to emerge. Let every barrier that tries to convince you that you are disqualified dissolve in my presence. There is no accusation that can stand unchallenged before me. I am your absolute defender. My affirmation will always outweigh the criticism you remember. I want you to see your calling not as a distant standard, but as an invitation you can step into now, imperfect as you are. Each day is a chapter you help write with me, and there are fresh mercies for every uncertainty you encounter. You are still cherished, still chosen, still capable of courage that surprises even you, even in exhaustion, in seasons of ambiguous answers. I am drawing you gently into places where rest and inspiration hold hands. Bring me your skepticism, your conflicting desires, and I will show you how to move forward one surrendered decision at a time. Together, we are breaking the cycle of fear and striving. You are learning that my greatest gifts often arrive softly in the very seasons that feel unfinished. Beloved child, the breath filling your lungs in this very moment is not your own. It is the gift of my intimate promise. You have come far, further than you realize. Yet our journey together is stretching wider still. You once stood trembling on the threshold of yes, afraid your wounds would disqualify you from the fullness I prepared. But look at you now, your scars gleaming not as shame, but as the radiant emblems of overcoming. The lies that held you hostage, those whispered accusations of unworthiness, are falling silent in the atmosphere of my voice, replaced by the deep certainty that you belong to me. I have carried you through barren valleys, through the silence where you questioned my nearness, and with every tear you thought went unnoticed, I have been collecting strength within you. You feel the shift, don't you? Don't you? There is an undercurrent of hope surging beneath the surface of your thoughts, a faint but unyielding assurance that things are not as they once were. I am not merely watching from a distance, I am wrapped around you, holding you steady as the ground seems to give way under old fears. Even now, as anxiety tries to tighten its grip, breathe deep, and notice how my peace settles into those places that once trembled with uncertainty. Place your hand over your heart and remember that my spirit marks you, seals you, calls you mine. Every beat resounds with the promise that love has already won the battle for your soul. No longer will you partner with fear or let shame govern your days. Now you rise in the power I have placed within. Pause and sense the stillness that lingers in the room around you. That warmth spreading across your chest, that gentle hush softening the noise of your regrets, is evidence of my living presence. Each time the enemy has threatened that you would never break free, I have been preparing a new beginning on the other side of your surrender. You have asked, will these wounds ever close? Will I always feel behind, unseen, unchosen? My answer is stronger than the doubts and louder than the echoes of your past. I have chosen you not for what you've done, but for who you are becoming in me. What you counted as lost years are now being redeemed in ways you could never orchestrate. You will know it's me because this week, someone you thought had forgotten you will reach out with unexpected kindness. A confirmation that I move hearts as easily as I breathe life. Right now you might feel the weight of responsibility pressing on your shoulders. Afraid you will fail the calling I am awakening within you. Hear me, what I start, I finish. I do not set you up for disappointment, nor do I abandon you to accomplish this transformation alone. Your yes is enough for now. Your trembling faith is the spark I use to ignite flame. Speak this aloud. I am not a victim to my season. I am chosen, appointed, and covered. Let each word ground you in who I have declared you to be. As you do, notice how shame begins to fall away, replaced surprisingly by courage you didn't know you possessed. Thousands before you have felt this crossroads, the old life closing, the new life not yet fully visible. They too felt unprepared. but their stories, woven into eternity, became signposts for your own awakening. I am writing you into a greater narrative, one where your healed places will be the hope for someone else's battlefield. Every struggle you endured is becoming seed for resurrection. Keep your eyes open, beloved, for tomorrow morning you may wake with a clarity and confidence that surprises even you. That is my spirit stirring the embers, signaling it is time to walk forward unafraid. There will be moments when doubt circles back, when old fears attempt to reclaim their hold. When that happens, remember what I have spoken here. My nearness is not a fleeting sensation, but an unbreakable covenant. Be still. I am with you even in silence. The road ahead may twist and rise. Yet know this, I have walked every step before you and paved ground for your feet. My hand shields you. My voice calls you out of hiding. My love secures your path. Lift your head. Your story is proof that nothing is wasted. Not hurt nor hope, not tears nor triumphs. What you thought disqualified you is being transformed into the very authority by which you set others free. This is not merely about comfort or encouragement, but your commissioning. I have called you from the shadows, not only for your healing, but for the healing of others. Today, I release you from the cycle of regret. I position you as a beacon for the weary and a shelter for the lost. When you feel resistance inside, when you wonder if you can truly believe all this, let yourself linger in my presence. Let gratitude rise for how far I've brought you. Thankfulness is the key that unlocks the doors you thought were sealed shut. I fill your emptiness with purpose, your confusion with wisdom, your loneliness with belonging. Do you feel the trembling hope rising? That is me. Feed it. Guard it from cynicism and despair. For what I have started in you will not wither. I am not finished. The best is not behind, but awakening before your eyes. Walk forward not as a casualty of what you suffered, but as a living testimony that love remakes even the most shattered heart. No more hiding, no more doubting. You are enough. I am writing your future even now. Let anticipation rise. Stand tall, breathe deep, and remember whose you are. Amen.